Hello class, Dr. Castleberry here, speaking to two different groups of students. I don't think we're blurring any ethical boundaries by doing that, but we're coming at the students of COM 2803, Multimedia Storytelling, as well as COM 4123, Media Production Techniques, because we have an opportunity in the very near future. I've teased it a little bit early in the semester, but we're about to have a bit of a gap due to the Labor Day holiday. So without the class meeting on Monday of Labor Day, that first Monday in September, and then jumping to Wednesday, we run the risk of not getting enough information about an upcoming event on your radar to be able to potentially make the necessary adjustments to your schedule, maybe sacrifice needed to be a part of it. So coming up in a couple of weeks, Saturday, September 13th, we're going to be taking a group up to the state conference for the Oklahoma Speech, Theater, and Communication Association, or OSTCA for short. Now, OSTCA is a storied organization. It's the organization in our state for connecting, networking, and sharing ideas with other universities and colleges that offer communication programs. And it's a really healthy space where you can get to know other people, gain some insights, but also as you become more experienced and confident and competent in what you're doing, it's a space where you could come share some of your work in the future. And we've had students have a lot of success with that in the past, and we want to continue that tradition. Only a few short years ago, in 2022, MacU hosted OSTCA, and it was a fantastic experience where people from all over the state stepped foot on our campus for the very first time. And it was also a special occasion because it was the first time since COVID, since the 2019, that OSTCA held an in-person conference. Now, they've been steady ever since. And the thing about the state meet is it rotates around Oklahoma somewhere different every single year. And it's usually based on who's in the leadership roles at the time. So we hosted it here because I was, at that point in time, the president, and I've vacated that and moved on to other roles in the organization. I maintain pretty heavy involvement. I'm on the executive committee, but we want to be able to showcase the strong things happening, the great things happening at MacU, right? And you all are the great things. And so even if you're on the ground floor, I want you to attend. So here's what's going on. We're planning on having transportation available Saturday, September 13th. It's going to be very early in the morning. I mean, early for a college student, I guess, and early for a Saturday morning. But we're going to be leaving to head up north. I think Stillwater by van. It's about an hour and a half from here. If I was traveling solo, it would be less than that. But in a university van, we're probably looking at about an hour and a half to be safe. We're probably not going to hit any issues, but it could be less. But roughly, hour 15, hour and a half, something like that. Head up to Stillwater, headed to OSU, Oklahoma State University, and they're hosting this year. There's going to be a half day of conference style presentations, breakout sessions. There will be other students from different universities sharing their work, some grad students, but maybe some undergrad students, and then also faculty sharing panels and some research and some things like that. So you would get a chance to be able to sit in and take in the sort of the scene and be observers. Our goal was we'd have some participants, and we do hope to have that quota return in the future. But at the very least, we want to give people some exposure. That's really important. There's great networking opportunities. And for everyone we can get to sign up, I'm working on utilizing CommBudget. Maybe if our budget grows in the CMC group, we may be able to utilize it for covering some luncheons up to a point. So there's a luncheon that's going to culminate the morning worth of panels. And so we're going to drive up, sit in on a couple of panels. They're going to average about maybe I don't know, 45, 50 minutes a panel with little breaks in between, and opportunity to say buy coffee, maybe continental things on the breakfast side. But then there's a luncheon, and so people that commit to going and ride with us and that sort of thing in advance, we've got to know in advance. We are working on a way to fund your luncheon experience. And so following the luncheon, they do give out some awards and things like that. That's another thing to kind of get on your radar is, hey, there's ways that people get recognized at gatherings like this. And that's valuable for your future. You may not be thinking about it now, and you may not be thinking about it next year, but it will be of value. It's increasing value. People want to overlook what you can get out of college. There is so much more than just the degree itself, or completing the classes, or studying what you want, or being in the classes at the desirable times. It's about taking advantage of opportunities. Now, I can say, while maybe I seem unique because I forged a career in higher ed, I didn't initially go into higher ed, and I didn't know I was going to have a career in higher ed. But what I do know, what I can attest, is that the mentors I had at each of my degree stops helped impress me and instill a kind of confidence and an encouragement in me that always gave me support and forward momentum. You can't trade those kinds of connections. And those can become, you never know, but they can become the kinds of eyes and ears that also point you to opportunities in the future. And as studies of communication, we know that could look like so many different things. And so this can be a great observational time. It is a formal conference, so if you have something a little more formal, that'd probably be preferred. You won't see people certainly in shorts and Crocs and that kind of thing. Like, people will be you'll see a lot of suits and pantsuits and things like that. But I think even just kind of lay observers may be fine, and something more like like business casual maybe. But you'll see a lot of formal, professionally dressed folks. I'll kind of be in that vein because I'm on the executive committee, but also because I'll be presenting in a couple of spaces that morning. And so we have the luncheon, and then I am required to be involved in, attend and be an active role in the executive committee meeting. That always happens an hour after the luncheon. And so those that would be riding in our goal to have the, a MACU van that we're taking up there, those riding would of course need to patiently wait for that to conclude, and then we'll return if you're committed to going, and then there is some kind of like maybe independent way of getting there. We can discuss that, but that needs to be a one-to-one type of discussion. Also, here's the real challenge, and here's the real opportunity if you're just a student that says, I don't know about any of that, but I am interested in extra credit. I'm interested in us not only attending to be flies on the wall, I'm interested in, and I'm speaking to both skill sets in both classes this semester, especially the multimedia storytelling group, but this is just as easily appeals to the media production techniques group. I'm interested in us going up there with some minor equipment, but a readiness and a preparedness to execute some strategic interviews. And these interviews could be a combination of things. They could be social media style, like walk-ups with the mini mic, and we're going to engage with some people and sort of build some camaraderie and branding about OSTCA. But also, I want us to be using that as a way to build some community awareness of MACU and of the Communication and Media Club. And so I'm interested in this idea of off the books, entrepreneurial media productions happening on site during the conference itself, making a new connection with the student or grad student, making connection with the faculty member or something like that. And then practicing our skill sets, but then maybe coming home with some stuff in the bag, right? Some interviews, some engagement points. I think that would be really great, and something that could be showcased on what we're hoping to launch this fall, which would be a CMC media channel of some kind, right? The Communication and Media Club. We want to launch some some mass media channels, and these would be like social media channels in which you're putting out content. You're helping each other build content, right? We're calling you up. We're laying down the gauntlet, the real challenge. So there's real work to be done here. And anyone that attends will be eligible for extra credit. And it will be a nice allotment of extra credit. Anyone willing to attend and participate in putting together some media production content live at the site, maybe not like broadcast live, but live in terms of doing things, building things, like being a part of active media making, I will double that extra credit on top, or it could even replace, say, a lower grade in the course or something like that, right? We can find a space where it's more than worth your while. You all, I don't want you to miss out. We've got a great group, both incoming and continuing this year, and I think it could be our best year ever in terms of that. I think you'd have a positive experience, and it is a nice growing up opportunity to get out and people facing at an external event like OSTCA, Oklahoma Speech Theater Communication Association. Yes, Saturdays in fall are sacred to Oklahomans and people throughout the South, and certainly the university system at large in this country. A lot of great sports are happening. A lot of stakes in other ways too, with the football season and whatnot. But sometimes sacrifices got to be made, right? It's kind of like setting aside the things that, like time for church on Sunday, or setting aside, right, elements for a budget or for tithe or what have you. Like sometimes you just got to know where it makes sense to make the strategic investment. OSTCA is an investment that will pay dividends for you later on by short-term sacrifice now. And what a great opportunity to go make some impressions and make some connections. All right, so OSTCA. Think about it, pray about it, reflect on it, send any questions you have to me, and let's get it on our radar. Let's not be hesitant. Let's kind of figure out, like, hey, am I ready to commit to something? If nothing else, and we're right on top of a holiday weekend, Labor Day sales, people, Labor Day sales. Go get yourself that pair of dress shoes that's on sale, right? The dress pants, or this sort of thing. Like, it's a perfect time to kind of get one little tweak, like or discounted fall wardrobe. If that suits you at all, and then we have a perfect place to go showcase that, right? Tell yourself that maybe a double whammy if you're not serving, that is to say working, but maybe many of you will at the MACU Impact Awards Gala. You're going to need some dressy attire for that event as also. So now you've got a double whammy on you. Appreciate your patience listening to this, and hope you all have a great Labor Day weekend. And I'm looking forward to semester with our teams. You've been putting out terrific work so far. It's been a blessing to have you all in class. I'm looking forward to continuing all these things here in our media production and communication degree at MACU.